Hello there, welcome to the Spring Ridge Elementary School Library. This is my first video blog. My name is Colette Adams. I'm the teacher librarian here, and I'm making this video for librarians who would like to start a Nook program in their elementary school library and would be interested to know some of the logistics of how that works. So our elementary school has about 430 students in it, kindergarten through grades 5. I'm starting the Nook checkout program with just 5th grade and then maybe move to 4th and 5th grade. And our elementary school also uses Destiny Library Manager. Our whole district does, and we use Destiny Quest for students to actually search. So that plays into some of the decisions I made. So first off, I have to say a humongous thank you to our Spring Ridge Home and School Association. They have been fantastic. They're funding the Nook e-reader pilot program I'm starting, and so they're making all of this possible for us to even be thinking about. So some things to do. If you know that you're starting a Nook program, you know you have the funding and you're waiting for your Nooks to get here, or you're just waiting for things to be approved by your financial office, you can still do a lot of things to get your Nook program started, a lot of the paperwork things. First off, you want to figure out how you're going to check out the Nooks. What's your process going to be? An elementary school library, you probably don't want to have them sitting out in the stacks. So what I used is a similar process that I use for playaways. I have an empty video case, which recycled from old videos I threw out, and I use just an insert that has color. I'll talk about color coding later. Color, Nook number 1, Nook number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., etc. And then students, there's instructions on here to bring this empty case up to the checkout counter. At that point, whoever's running the circulation desk would switch out the empty case for the actual Nook. And so that way it's just an extra security measure to hopefully keep the Nooks in good condition and safe. So this would be stored on the shelf when it's not in use. Also, I put on here the spine label. I just use AV, Nook number 1, Nook number 2, etc. So some things that you can do before you get your Nooks if you're waiting on funding or you're waiting on a purchase order to get approved are to set up some of the paperwork things. And also to get ready for your Nook program, start looking at accessories that you'd use to protect Nooks. You can buy a sample cover or case. So what we're choosing to use is this leather cover that has pockets inside. It's under multiple names on Amazon or eBay. I happened to get this one from Skin Digital on eBay, and it conveniently came with a screen guard, which is something I also wanted to get, so that was kind of great to have a package deal. And then so you want to order some covers. I also like this one that had different colors available besides black and pink. And so I'm using the colors of the cover to denote what titles are on which Nooks. So 6 of the Nooks would be, say, blue or green or whatever color, and they would have matching covers, and they would all have the same books on them. I am choosing to self-manage the Nooks, so I can still do 1 ebook to hopefully 6 Nooks, as long as that policy stays in place. For elementary students, however, I really felt that just having a cover is not enough protection, that I wanted something a little extra, especially since we're asking students not to put them in their backpacks to keep the screens from cracking. So I also purchased a sample of a netbook bag, actually. I wanted something with handles, which is much harder to find than you might think for an ebook reader case. So I ordered this one. It was from Case Crown. And though I'm sure it's a fine netbook case, it's a little bit big for these covers. So I really feel like this won't really work for us unless it has some extra padding in it to take up the extra space. Also, the neoprene's not as thick as I thought it would be. So I really feel like we need to either add something to this or I need to decide on a different bag. Some sources for e-reader bags would be Amazon, eBay, and don't forget about Etsy. There's lots of customized crafters that would love to make a customized bag for you, and that they have different dimensions. I'm talking to 2 Etsy crafters right now who might be able to customize something for me that would work for our school. So I haven't decided yet which direction I'm going with that. I'm just sort of seeking out different options, but I'm really glad that I purchased these ahead of time so that I didn't have a bulk order of something I can't use. Also, another thing you can do is you can set up your MARC records. I'm fortunate that I have access to a database called Access Pennsylvania that has MARC records from every public school and academic library in the state, pretty much. So I was lucky that there was a MARC record on there I just grabbed and modified for my use. I'm going to try to upload my MARC record onto the blog and hopefully make that available to anyone who'd like to use it. I'll also be putting cataloging and processing instructions that I used up, so you could create your own marker record from that if you so chose. Also, you want to make a new circulation type. If you are cataloging e-books as well as the e-readers, you may need to add a circulation type like AV, equipment, or an e-books circulation type, and make sure that the policies are in place for all of your student types. And finally, you might want to make some paperwork things to put with the Nook. I chose to make 3 things. First, using Buffy Hamilton of the Unquiet Library's amazing idea, I made bookmarks that just have Nooks on them, and on the back would be a barcode, so we'll be scanning that barcode to check the Nook devices out to students instead of pulling the devices out to scan them or risk having the scanner mess up the electronics. Secondly, I made a sort of quick start guide, just a very small, simple front and back of the Nook device's functions. I pulled this straight from the user guide, though I did airbrush out the micro SD slot where it pointed that out. Of course, that's available and it's a feature of the Nook. However, I don't want to promote that to students necessarily and risk having harmful files be uploaded to the Nook. Secondly, it reminds once again, don't put the Nook in your backpack or leave it in a car. And on the back, we have a few things about what to do if the Nook's screen turns off and there's a screensaver, or what to do if it freezes, if there's fingerprints on the screen, not to clean it but to bring it into us, and what to do if there's a low battery warning. And so those are what I foresee being the 3 most likely problems. Of course, I could be wrong about that, and I may modify that as needed. All of these documents I will upload to the blog as well under Creative Commons license, and you feel free to use them and modify them as you need. I really must give credit, though, to Buffy Hamilton and Kathy Parker, who I borrowed many of these things from as well, so they are not solely my creation. And finally, you may want to think about making a survey of some kind to get student feedback. Whether that's feedback about their experience, did they enjoy it, words to describe their experience, or and also suggestions for books to purchase for your Nooks. I think Buffy Hamilton is on to a great idea when it comes to personalizing their e-reader experience. And so that's about everything for now. If you're starting your Nook program and you're watching this, I wish you the best of luck, and feel free to message me with any questions you have.